What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dodge. Come back to Real Takes. Well, it's that time, guys. It's reaction time, and this is to Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story. Now, this will be for episode 5, titled Gardens in Bloom. The last episode was a loaded episode, and a needed one for me to understand what was going on with King George. And I got a lot of what I needed to know and understand. And as time goes on, of course, hopefully more will be revealed, truly what was happening to him, and also how that's going to affect him doing his duties, also his, relationship with Queen Charlotte, knowing that his mother clearly knew definitely things were going on and keeping Queen Charlotte out of it, and talk about how once she has a child, it's like, of course she would understand as you being the mother's child, but you keeping things from her does not bode well. It's like eventually when she finds out, like, no, you could have been upfront and let her know, but she's probably afraid, she probably wouldn't have married this and another. All these little whataboutisms probably would have came through her mind, but the fact remains is that Queen Charlotte had every right to be pissed, and I'm glad she went off on her. It's like, yeah, you're not dealing with some little, tawdry female who's so dainty she's not going to speak up for herself. She's very strong-willed, strong-mannered, definitely, well-versed. So yeah, your son didn't marry a dummy, and certain things are going on, certain things you were trying to keep from her, and this is how you want her to start a relationship. It's not, and hence with him as well. So with that being said, seeing the doctor, very just his whole vibe and the way he's doing, especially when he did a smack and supposedly knocked him out of his little feelings about probably marrying her at the time and all that. He got over it and all, but then just feeling like if he doesn't do this, when he found out she was pregnant, because she's like, well, you're using this doctor, I'm gonna go use the same doctor you have, now I'm with child, and him coming back looking at her and having that moment, and then hearing his mother and her go at it, then going back to him so they can use the chair to slowly fix him. I know he wants to feel like he's doing the right thing to help George, but I feel like it's going to go right over that man's head because the amount of power he feels. And I feel like as time goes on, the deterioration of King George was, he played a part in it, especially with what we saw, the little parts we saw in the Bridgerton series with Queen Charlotte, of course, present day. But yeah, I don't care for that doctor. I don't know what it is. But needless to say, I'm happy Queen Charlotte kind of knows now, being that Reynolds and Grimsley still weren't really trying to be forthcoming, more so Reynolds than anything. Like, they're eventually going to be in a moment where it was going to happen. She's in the bedroom or whatever, or something. He would mess up words, slur anything, cognitive skills. Like, don't hide something like that. If I'm going to be with this person for the rest of my life, and we're bringing children into heirs and whatnot to continue the bloodline and whatever and all that, she had a right to know. So I'm just, like I said, I'm glad the reveal's out. So I'm ready to see exactly what's going to happen in this episode moving forward. So with that said, let's go and jump into it. Save the rest of my thoughts at the end, you guys.
Much like a phoenix rising from the ashes, so too our queen rises from disaster.
I sometimes think our queen must be the loneliest woman in England.
She is as much a widow as you and I.
Your Majesty.
Is he dead?
I have not heard anything.
Find out. I want to be sure.
Of course, Your Majesty.
Still alive. We are in debt. Let us pray.
I was 3 when my parents promised me. When a deal was struck. 3 years old. I never thought what it would actually be like to have him be gone. I'm brand new. I do not even know how to breathe air he does not exhale.
She is with child.
It is done.
Are you certain?
There can be no doubt.
You carry the crown. Your safety is most important. I shall not leave you alone for a moment.
I'm not able.
Much as I would love to stand here and help you find your words, I have my own duties to attend to. Deliver the letter to His Majesty.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
You're not ready.
Put it with the others.
Oh my God.
You are a trusted member of the court.
You are a favorite of the Queen.
Surely the palace has given you some word on procedure, on what will happen next.
You are asking me if my 4-year-old son is now Lord Danbury.
We need to know whether the laws of succession on their side will apply to our side.
Would it be so bad, my lady? Losing the title?
Yes, Coral. I shall simply sign the letter Danbury. I just hope he assumes I am a man with poor etiquette.
Is she still here? She's not fallen down a flight of stairs or choked on a cube of meat? My skin is too light. Paint my skin darker, as it actually is.
Paint her skin lighter.
Are you serious?
His Majesty wants her to glow.
Oh, I swear the words I want to come out this mouth of mine. Ooh.
She wants to leave.
I can fail to post it. Everything is in danger. You keep secrets.
I would not think those quite the best shoes for the fields.
Right, Jack.
Nope.
What are you doing out here?
This is my estate. Same time, you will wear better shoes. We can ramble together.
Hello.
My sons have been ever so eager to meet you both. They are noble, they are rich, they are connected, they are perfect. And next week, they will be your wives. Your garden is in bloom. It is blooming out of control.
As there will not be a wedding.
You forgot something the other day. Our eldest brother, George, the Prince of Wales, Prince Regent of England, the man in charge since father's incapacity.
Now, Georgie, be a good boy and approve your brother's marriages.
I approve. Child inside you is not yours.
My body is growing it.
What matter?
What matter? Or you try growing it then?
Your body is not your own. To leave the kingdom now would be treason.
Maybe my title and estate. Now the crown might call them back. My prospects for future happiness.
Rambles are there.
Rambles are there.
I am there.
Oh, are you serious? Ooh. Alrighty.
When your husband accepted the new estate, he used a sizable amount of his holdings to support your new life. May have exaggerated his wealth to you. He spent quite a bit to maintain a life worthy of a lord.
Charlotte, you are fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
She is exhausted.
You tell me nothing but lies. I asked your help and you refuse to treat me like a partner or an equal. I cannot help you. You're
Open that damn door, bro. What are you doing?
Bloody hell are you doing to him?
Treating him. None! Get him out of here!
We should have did something.
But as women, we are never the topics of the conversation. Lady Whistledown never writes of our hearts. We are untold stories.
You met my son, Lord Danbury.
Lovely to meet you, Your Highness.
The question of inheritance, far from decided.
Born named Soma, royal blood of the Parmendem war tribe in Sierra Leone. You come from warriors.
You never make up to your friends.
No, but this particular friend is feeling quite sad.
I have been lied to and betrayed by everyone in this country but you.
Our bravery, our force of will be their proof.
Marriage is difficult. full of pains. And the life of a royal is lonely.
You sold me off to be the Queen of England. I'm off to be the Queen of England.
Oh.
I was not sure when exactly your birthday was, but I did not want it to pass without celebration.
Oh. Excuse me.
Do not tell me what I want, Doctor. Now show me to him, or I shall have my men search the entire palace.
Ooh. What in the world? Oh my god.
Untie him! Untie the king! I am Charlotte. This is our child. And we need you to be George again, or none of us are anyone.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh my god.
I care not for his sanity. I care for his happiness. I care for his soul. Let him be mad, if mad is what he needs. You are finished. Remove him from the grounds. A warm bath and clothes. I will need my things packed. We are moving to Kew.
Oh wow. All right, you guys, this episode, my goodness, there's so much going on. I just feel like it just keeps upping the ante each episode, and I love when I'm never disappointed. And with this series so far, I'm truly not. Oh my gosh, where to begin? Okay. I'm feeling for Charlotte, being that she feels truly alone. You know, right now we're seeing what's going on with King George, dealing with the fact that he's dealing with his, health issues. The doctor honestly just taking full advantage of it, and anything he can say, he thinks because he's a doctor, King George, of course, is just going to listen and just let him just do anything at his will. And at the moment he is. I can tell that Reynolds feels like he's kind of trapped a little bit. He can't really overstep his bounds. The doctor, being that the mother brought him in, but the fact remains he can clearly see from hearing, his, majesty being at times honestly tortured, the way this man is using certain methods, to what he feels would be the most beneficial to the king. And I'm just like, really? When they show the ending of them putting that stuff, that sword or whatever and all that, seeing on his leg, I'm like, that's your method? Needless to say. And then, of course, Charlotte going through what she's going through and seeing the letters she's sending, and they're not getting to him because Reynolds keeps taking them, but, it's not, because the doctor just puts him, like, no, he can't. And then he puts him in this little batch with it, and I think it was probably a good dozen probably there, maybe more, just stacked. Being that he won't, really tell Brimsley what's really going on. Brimsley knows there's a lot more on. Eventually, Brimsley opening up one of the letters and her like saying, "I want to leave." And they're like, "Oh, this is madness. We need to figure this out." He's like, "You worry about, this, whatever. You can't even worry about what you got going on, buddy, because you only have so much, somewhat pull." And I said it like that, like, I understand your frustration, but it's like, don't get mad at Brimsley. He's trying his best to figure out a way. You're not doing anything, honestly. You don't want to go to anybody, and it's almost like, and Charlotte was the one that rose to the occasion and was able to put her foot on, because being that she is queen, and put both of them in line, like, okay, take me, where is he at? The doctor's like, please, I'm going to search this whole place. Take me to my husband. And then it's like, yeah, your duties are done. I'm glad he didn't have any way to touch anything with that with the baby, being that they brought an actual person in. Now, let me get on the mother. I love the woman who plays her. She plays her so good to the point I can't stand her. Just the part with the portrait. And it makes you wonder, hence, with the portrait we have of the actual, Queen Charlotte, if that part actually is true to me. Somebody might come in the comment section and say, some of, it might fall in lines where it is partly true with their, she's like, let me see, like, I've been sitting here and all that, whatever. And of course, it's the portrait of you and the king, but of course, it's just her there. Hence, King's nowhere to be found right now. He's busy. He's busy being tended to a crazed doctor. But okay. But then when she's like, make me darker. And then she looks at, let me see, no, make her lighter, you know, she brings and she, shines and glistens like, woman, before you, if you make her any lighter, she won't be there. She'll be invisible, looking at her and all that. And I'm just like, and it makes you wonder if she really was the tone that, the character we're seeing in front of us was, being a little bit more dark. But of course, you in that time, you're like, oh no, because you remember now in the last, what is the second episode, whatever, oh, she was brown. I didn't know she was that brown. So hence, and it took every inch of me, because I really was about to say something, but I don't really need this, this video to be flagged the way, so I'm going to leave that alone. So many choice words I could use. So that whole situation right there, I just like, and even at the dinner table when a brother shows up and he's saying his little stuff, it's like, yeah, you sold me off. And I was glad when she said like that to him on the steps, like, yeah, you did. Now I'm going to be the queen since you wanted me to be the queen and do what we need to do for our families. I'm going to do my part as a queen and you can be quiet. I like when Brimsley put him in his place, even though Brimsley was pissing me off a little bit, but not more so than her brother. I really cannot stand him. He annoys the hell out of me. It's like you sit over and it's like, oh, the triple, the food won't stay down. I'm like, I don't feel for you. Like, if it didn't stay down, oh well. Your sister is going through so much or whatever and all that. You just say, oh, you'll learn this, whatever. I don't need you telling me what I'm going to learn, whatever. You want to trade places? Clearly, trust and believe me, he would not. So I don't need you saying what I think I want to hear. She really want to hear nothing. She would rather her brother just be a brother, but he's all about this whole transaction and this great experiment too. So it's just like whatever, you might not be on the top list with King George's mother, but you right there, bro. She here and you right there, easing up more and more. Past all that, because I'm going to leave the part, the juicy stuff at the end. Let's talk about Violet and Lady Danbury, Lady Violet Bridgerton, excuse me. Now it's making a little bit of sense in regards to her talking about something in regards to, of course, missing her husband. You see the scene, in another episode where, Lady Danbury brought to her attention that she was very fortunate, and of course she wasn't all, but just the way it worded out and conveyed. At first, she kind of felt offended, and then she kind of went to a little bit of more detail about how her husband was. That whole situation with that was not because it really wasn't loving. And knowing more that we know now, being that she was pretty much, planned to him at a young age, knowing about this when she was 3, definitely not coherent enough to understand. But as she got older, knowing that she'd be married off to him. He really didn't care for her, and things that he was doing, trying to set up, because he was all about being accepted and this and another, and living that life, and then using monies to continue this farce of a life. And then here he is now past, and putting Lady Danbury in a situation where now she has to figure out how to deal with this. Being that I don't know if the paperwork is done properly, that their son will be considered now the Lord Danbury, and hopefully that will actually happen. Hence, it clearly something does transpire, because she is still with the title when we saw the series for the 2 seasons of Bridgerton. Now, knowing the hat part definitely makes sense, how she talked about how her dad used to make hats and all that, and she would make hats and her husband would wear and all that, and how these look all funny with them and all that, and having that little memory. And seeing how we see a scene of the hat being, father making these hats. He's like, there's a friend who's sad because, of course, Lady Danbury going through the mourning and all that, and walking, wanting to be the solitude, and then coming across Lady Violet's father. Excuse me, his name is going to the wayside, so excuse me for not remembering that. So I'll just say Violet's dad. Seeing the scenes where she would every day like, oh, you don't want to eat, no, I'm not, just solitude, and just go out there and they just have a nice conversation, building up that friendship, especially when they came to the house when they had the first ball, gathering and all that, and it was considered frowned upon, but then they actually went with it, and he showed up. Wife didn't want to go, but they're like, oh, we were gonna come. He's like she didn't want to come. I love that, because he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, forthcoming. But I will say, just loving their friendship, which clearly turned into something else. The tension between the two, you could see the eyes on her when she was laying her husband to rest, Violet being there and all that. I wonder how Violet would feel if she knew her father and them had a little moment. If she saw that hat, it would all come back to her. I said, yeah, you taking that out, put that baby back up. Don't want that kid out, but it is what it is. But I will say this, I love their attraction with them, and know it's completely wrong, should not be happening, but you can clearly see it's there, the respect. But then it turning into this, and her feeling how when she was explaining to Queen Charlotte about being with somebody you really care about, when you're having that moment of the love making and all that, and you can see how she's in this moment when she was on her back, and I'm like, don't look up the top, because I said, oh, you remember her looking at the top, seeing her husband and not really enjoying that, but now she changed it and flipped it around, so to speak. and they had a nice little moment, and she took charge of that whole situation in the bedroom. Like how you show Lady Danbury finding, the hat, this prized possession, for that moment. But it's like, you really did. Same thing with Queen Charlotte saying how she felt betrayed and, lied to her and all that. And, just not people, not being honest and just and all that. And you see the look on her face and her trying to, maneuver and saying something, talk about, I think we need to start over, I'm such as, I'm your friend. And I'm like, Still doesn't change the fact that you started off the way you did, sneaking, eavesdropping, finding out what you can so you can tell, Princess Augusta, but, okay, we're going to play along. But yes, that, I'm just like, wow. And that little boy of hers, he is so stinking cute. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. I love how he had his moment, they kind of, talked about he's such a, handsome young, but he really was, and he did his part well. Whoever the young boy is, he was amazing, just at first feisty, and mom's like, don't act like this with him and all that, you need to be in your best behavior when we show up. And he did, did his part, looking the part. And I like how she let him know, how he be the man of the house and how he would rise to the occasion, tell him his title and knowing what he represents and all that, and him just, smiling and all that. Just so stinking cute. Oh my gosh. But yes, this episode, and I love that Queen Charlotte, she took charge, like, take me, show my husband, if not, I'm going to have the guards search his whole grounds, and that doctor, like, no. She's like, when her and, Lady Danbury had a conversation, and just her feeling she does have a friend, so she's not alone. She will be able to go to her and have those moments where they can talk and just somewhat have to vent. And I'm glad she does have somebody truly now, even though I feel like it started on the wrong foot, hence on the Danbury side. But with Charlotte, just from the beginning, and now you on the wiser and genuine. And now they have this understanding. You see Brimsley in the brother's face, don't care, whatever. They're going to have a friendship, hence we see in Bridgerton. But I like how Charlotte realized, when she had to talk to her on the last episode, you are the queen. Yes, you infatuate a little bit, of course, with King George, shirtless and this and that and other and all that. But just know you have a title and a role, and you need to stick up to that. And know that you want to pull that weight, and she pulled her weight. And when she came in and saw what she saw and what they were doing to her husband, and having to bring him back from the brink, and having him touch her stomach, like, this is our child, like, I'm Charlotte, come back to us. And he, said her name. She's like, oh my God, like, okay, he needs to be bathed. He needs food. Bring me my bags. I will be staying here, tending to my husband. The doctor is gone. Goodbye. Like, yes, get this carpet ordered. And Brimsley and Rand's like, listen, you want to listen to this queen. And he like, and I just loved it. I was just here for all of this. This whole entire episode 5 was just giving me all types of feels. I'm here for it. I could only imagine when we get in the last episode, but that's all good. But this one right here, oh my goodness, just, so good. So with that said, you guys, and excuse me for talking fast because I had to get it all off my chest. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next reaction. You guys take care.